Topic's now correctly fetching a new list of images each time that we click a link on the page. So let's improve this component and make sure that we actually fetch or display the list of images that the user wants to see. First, we're going to start with our render method. We'll add in here, rather than placing a whole bunch of logic to render a list, we're going to call another function called render images. So let's define that now. So render images is a function, and in here we're going to build our list of rendered images. So we'll say return this.state.images, because remember, whenever we fetch images, we're setting them on state as images. And then we will map function, and we're going to take a single image and then return some JSX to represent that single image. If you remember back to when we rendered our topics inside the header, we artificially trimmed the list to just the first 4 topics, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to artificially trim it to the first 20 images. By default, I believe the API returns somewhere between 60 and 100 images. So to just keep the list a little bit more manageable for right now, I'm just going to render the first 20. Okay. So inside of our map now, we will return a new component that we're going to create in this section called image preview. So we'll say image preview. Oops. And we're going to give it a key. And again, this will be equal to the image's ID. Oops. And then for properties that we're going to pass into this component, I don't know if you recall, but from a section very long ago, we covered how to spread properties into a component. So rather than have to refer to an image in image preview as this.props.image, we're going to do ... image, which means in image preview we can say this.props.name, this.props.description, and so on and so on. So it's just removing that .image property out of the property structure. Doing this is definitely optional, and if you really want, you can still do image equals just image like so. Okay. So let's get started on image preview now. Inside of my components folder right here, I'm going to create a new file called image-preview.jsx. And I'm sure you're very used to writing all the boilerplate in here. I know I am. So we require in React module.exports, create class, define our render function, and then we'll return a div that says I am an image with ID, and then we can just say this.props.id. So let's go ahead and save this file and save topic as well, and then we'll watch this render. And it looks like we got a little bit of an error here. Let's figure out what's going on. Image preview is not defined. We just forgot to require in image preview to our topic component. So let's do that at the top. We'll do image preview equals require image preview. So let's save, let it do its thing, and sweet. Okay, so we definitely have a list of, this looks about 20. So 20 odd images, and each of them is showing its ID. So I'm an image with ID, blah, blah, blah. So this is definitely some good progress here. Let's continue on. I'm going to go back into image preview and look at our render function. One interesting thing about Imgur's images is that they come in several different flavors. You can get static images like PNGs and JPEGs. You can get GIFs, which are like animated images, and videos, which are like MP4s and .webim files. The purpose of this image preview component is to correctly render a preview of any image component no matter what file format we have received. Fortunately, Imgur creates a static JPEG of every submission it gets, be it a GIF or a video or just a normal JPEG. And we're going to make use of that to provide a preview image to the user. So in render, we're going to define a helper method for rendering a single image. So we'll say this dot image, and then we'll define that. We'll say we're going to construct a image tag here that's going to make use of that image preview that I just mentioned. So we'll say var link is http i.imgur.com / plus this.props.id plus h.jpg. Don't forget the h here on the end as well. And then we will return image with src of link. Okay, so like I said, Imgur maintains or automatically creates a preview JPEG of every document that gets submitted to them, be it a video or a JPEG or a GIF. And we can basically trick Imgur into getting that link directly. All we have to do is say this URL plus the image ID, and then we append h.jpg. H in particular is referring to the quality of the preview image that we want to fetch. And an H is specifically, I think, I want to say maybe 200 by 200 pixels. So it's definitely suitable to be used as a preview. Once we form that link up, we're going to just create an image tag and pass the link in as, oops, I got a typo here. We don't want source equal to source, we want source equal to link. So let's do image source of link. So let's go ahead and save this and see what we got. All right, so this is looking pretty good here. I like it. So you can see that we've got some images on here. And like I said, Imgur, I don't really have control over the content that gets posted here, so there may sometimes be some slightly not safe for work images. Again, if that's an image or issue for you, just send me an email and we can work out a different source of data that you can work with. So just let me know. So let's continue in the next section by making this gallery look a lot better.